Every single time you stream a movie, shoot off an email, or ask an AI a question, you're tapping in to the cloud. But here's the thing. That digital world, it has a very real physical home. Today, we're diving deep, and I mean that literally, into a totally revolutionary idea for where that home could be. So let's get into it. So let's start with a question that feels simple, but it's really not. When we talk about the cloud, where is it? It feels like it's everywhere and nowhere all at once, right? But it's not magic. It has a physical address.
And the answer is, it lives on land. It lives inside millions of servers, all stacked up in these enormous factory-sized buildings we call data centers. These places are the physical backbone of our digital lives, just humming with activity 24/7. But, well, there's a pretty big problem with this whole setup.
Yeah, as our hunger for data grows, and it's growing exponentially, so does the footprint of these buildings. They're just sprawling across the landscape, becoming these huge, silent consumers of our planet's most precious resources: land, water, and power. So let's actually break down that cost. It's so easy to think of our data as something clean and weightless, right? Just floating around in cyberspace. But the infrastructure that actually holds it all up, it is anything but. It has a really heavy, hidden environmental price tag.
It really boils down to three core challenges. First, these data centers need huge amounts of land, which is a massive problem, especially near dense coastal cities. Second, all those servers generate an incredible amount of heat, and cooling them down requires unbelievable volumes of fresh water. And third, they are absolute power hogs, putting a massive strain on our electrical grids.
So if the problem is on land, what if the solution isn't? This brings us to a really radical new approach being tested out in China, taking our data centers and literally putting them on the ocean floor. It's an idea that solves some major problems, and of course, it opens up a whole new set of questions about the ocean's role in our digital age. And look, this isn't some far-off science fiction concept. This is real. It's happening right now. Off the coast of Shanghai, the world's very first commercial data center, powered by wind and cooled by the sea, is operational. This is a truly pioneering project. So let's just run through the key details. The project is right there in Shanghai, and it's run by a company called Shanghai HiCloud. But here's the really brilliant part. It creates this perfect little ecosystem. It's powered by clean energy from offshore wind turbines, and it gets cooled for free by the natural chill of the deep seawater. It's a huge undertaking, backed by a cool $226 million investment. Okay, so let's talk about the payoff, because this is where a whole new standard could be set. By moving offshore, this project isn't just making a few tweaks to the old model. It's completely rewriting the rules and directly tackling those environmental problems we were just talking about. It seems almost too simple to be true, doesn't it? How does just changing the location from land to the bottom of the sea result in such dramatic, massive improvements in efficiency and sustainability? Well, just get a load of these numbers. By going underwater, they expect to slash land use by over 90%. Freshwater for cooling? Gone. It drops to zero, 100% eliminated, because they just use the surrounding seawater instead. And even electricity use drops by almost 23%. Each one of these benefits is a direct solution to a land-based problem. It's incredible. And let's not forget where the power comes from. This isn't just about cooling more efficiently. The whole facility is pretty much entirely powered by clean energy. Over 95% of its electricity comes from nearby offshore wind turbines, which makes its carbon footprint incredibly tiny. Now, to really understand just how efficient this thing is, you got to know about a metric the industry uses. It's called PUE, or Power Usage Effectiveness. Basically, it measures how much energy actually goes to the computers versus how much is just wasted on stuff like cooling. A perfect score, which is impossible, would be 1.0, meaning zero energy waste. So the target PUE for this underwater data center is less than 1.15. That is an absolutely elite, world-class number. Just for some perspective, a lot of land-based centers really struggle to get below 1.5. This near-perfect efficiency is only possible because the ocean is providing constant, free, natural air conditioning. Now, this is about way more than just one really impressive facility in Shanghai. This project could be a major turning point for the entire industry. It's opening up a whole new frontier for how we build our digital infrastructure.
And honestly, the timing couldn't be more critical. The absolute explosion in artificial intelligence is creating an almost bottomless demand for more and more data processing power. What that means is we're going to need a lot more data centers, and we desperately need them to be as efficient and sustainable as possible.
To really get a sense of the ambition here, you just have to look at these numbers. The current project, once it's all done, is 24 megawatts. That's already pretty impressive, but the next one they're planning is over 20 times larger, a 500 megawatt behemoth. The leap in scale they're planning is just staggering.
And that is really the key takeaway here. This Shanghai facility, it isn't the final destination, it's the launch pad. It's the real-world test case to prove that this tech actually works and is reliable enough to build an entire future on. Its success could unlock this much, much larger vision.
This quote from the company really just sums up the whole mission. They see what's coming. They know that our demand for data is just going to keep growing. But they also know that growth can't come at the expense of our climate. They are betting big that sustainable design is the future.
And all of this leaves us with a really fascinating final question. We started by asking where the internet lives. For decades, the answer has always been on land. But as we've just seen, that might be changing. Is this the solution? Could the cool, dark depths of the ocean actually become the new home for our digital world? And if it is, what new responsibilities do we have, making the seafloor our next data frontier?